It's that time of the year. We are officially at our last list of 2025, and it is books that are coming out in 2025's December that I think you might want to read. Let's do all my disclaimers. No, these are not the only books coming out in December. No, these are not the only books that I'm interested in reading that are coming out in December. These are just 10 of them in a nice variety that I think y'all might want to add to your TBRs too. I probably won't end up reading all of these in December, mainly because this is my no-buy year, and December is still a no-buy book year. So I have to wait for the library. So more than likely, we will be reading these in 2026, but I do want to make you aware of some of them. This book comes out December 2nd, and it is a romance. It is The Love Audit by Lucy Eden. So I'm gonna read y'all the little thing like I always do. So it says, former childhood friends Jasmine Morgan, a PR expert, and Derek Carter, a meticulous corporate executive, have a renowned rivalry. Yet they've never revealed to anyone what turned their relationship sour. So when they've thrown together on a revitalization project in the quaint town of Miller's Cove, Florida, they plan to keep their distance and keep communication at a minimum. Only when they roll with the little white lie of being on their honeymoon to get into an exclusive town event, they're soon forced to keep pretending when they find out how fast news travels in a small town. So obviously this is like fake relationship. It's not Christmassy. I am on the hunt for Christmas romances so if you know a Christmas romance that you think I would enjoy and you want to hear my thoughts on it, leave it down below. But yeah, I'm excited. I like Lucy Eden. I found Lucy Eden randomly. I forgot what book grabbed my attention from Lucy Eden, but I forgot. I think I'm going to enjoy it. This book also comes out December 2nd, and it is Dawn of the Firebird by Sarah Mughal Rana. Now, this one is supposed to be adult fantasy. Romantasy is listed in it. I don't know how I feel about it, but it says, for fans of the Poppy War, She Who Became the Sun, and The Will of the Many, a breathtaking fantasy novel about the daughter of an overthrown emperor from an exciting new voice. It says, Kamala, I cannot say that last name, so I'm not going to, life has been built on a foundation of violence and vengeance. Every home she's known has been destroyed by war. As the daughter of an emperor's clan, she spent her childhood training to maintain his throne. But when her clansmen are assassinated by another rival empire, plans change. With her heavenly magic of Nur, Kamala is a weapon even enemies would wield, especially those in the magical scholarly city of Zakar. Hiding her identity, Kamala joins the enemy's army full of Jinn, magic, and martial arts, risking it all to topple her adversaries, avenge her clan, and reclaim their throne. Now, we know that there's probably a romance thing in there, but as y'all can see, like there isn't anything mentioned in the thing. So I don't know why. This is what I was talking about before in my previous video where I said books are being advertised as romantasies and like they're not. This is one of the ones that I think is being pushed as a romantasy, but it's not giving romantasy in the description. This one also comes out December 2nd, and it's Sparks Fly by Zakaya N. Jamal. This is a new author to me. This book is a romance. This is a queer romance, and it says, a late bloomer thought... Wait, I don't know what I just thought I read. Hold on. It says, a late bloomer thought a visit to a sex club might jumpstart her love life, but instead makes an instant connection that turns her whole world upside down in this adult debut from author Zakaya and Jamal. I'm not going to read further than that. That caught my attention. That's what made me put the book on the list. I was like, we don't get a lot of these. And I find it also funny that like there are a lot of romance books about people visiting sex clubs. And I was like, are they that common this whole time? Interesting. Now, I will say I originally saw this book because of the cover, and it comes out December 30th, and it is An Arcane Inheritance by Camila Cole. It says, a modern day dark academia fantasy with a twist, perfect for fans of Babel and a deadly education. So this is supposed to be, it's listed fantasy, dark academia, horror, mystery, adult, thriller, fiction. It's got all of those. So it says, Warren University has stood amongst the Ivy elite for centuries, built on the bones and forbidden magic of its most prized BIPOC students, hiding the rot of a secret society that will do anything to keep their own powers burning bright. No matter who they must sacrifice along the way. Ellery Morgan is determined to prove that she belongs at Warren University, an Ivy League school whose history is deeply linked to occult rumors and dark secrets. But as she settles into her freshman year, something about the ornate buildings and shadowy paths feels strangely familiar. And with every passing day, that sense of deja vu grows increasingly sinister. I'm going to leave it there. I will admit, dark academia anime is my thing, but as far as dark academia books, I haven't found too many dark academia books where I really felt that it was truly dark academia. So I'm interested. I don't think I don't think I've read Camille. I haven't read Camilla Cole's books yet, so I'm willing to give this one a shot. In an effort to find more cozy mystery series, which by the way, I've gotten some great recommendations about food ones that I will be sharing with you guys in another video. But this one comes out December 10th and it's Booked for Murder by PJ Nelson. It's the first book in the Old Juniper Bookstore mysteries. So it says in the atmospheric Southern cozy debut, Madeline Brimley returns to the bookstore she inherited, discovering that small towns hold deadly secrets. I am a mystery girl, and I'm a very specific kind of mystery girl. So I am very excited for this. I'm not reading any more of the description. We're just going to see if it gives what it needs to give or if we're going to move on to another one. I have been waiting for this book all year long, and it comes out December 30th, and it is The Awakening of Roku. This is technically the 6th book in the Chronicles of Avatar. Y'all know that I absolutely loved the Kyoshi ones. Was not a big fan of the Yemchen, but the Roku ones, honestly, that first Roku book, I loved it. I don't remember what month I read it, but I loved that book. So this continues on. So it says, this epic sixth installment in the Chronicles of the Avatar series continues Avatar Roku's journey towards discovering what it means to be a spirit of no nation, even if that lesson comes at a great personal cost. Now, this is the conclusion to it. So if you haven't read the first one, you do need to read the first one before this one. But I don't think y'all know this. I love Avatar, everything Avatar, the Last Airbender series, love everything about it. And so I love that they continued talking about the avatars. And I'm glad that we got a glimpse into Roku because his whole growth as an avatar is far different than I could have ever imagined. But we also get the added benefit of learning more about 2 other characters that I'm not going to tell you if you haven't read the book. I do recommend that you read the first one. I'm excited for this book to come out. This book is supposed to come out December 1st, and it is Champagne Taste on a Bad Boy Budget, a spicy opposites attract romance about redemption. Well, I don't have to read the description because we already know that this is a second chance romance. I've never read a Zuri Day book, and I think this is one that is on my thing. It says, she's a good girl trying to rebuild her restaurant. He's a felon trying to rebuild everything. Second chances have never been so sweet. I'm not going to read more than that. I think that's a good enough description. We don't need extra. It's a romance book and it's, redemption. We know what it's like. In my search of trying to find new holiday romance releases for my holiday TBR, I came across Merry Little Sugar Rush by Lacey Black. This apparently is the second book. I'm just noticing it's a second book in the Snow Lake Falls book series. But if it's like any other of the romance series, you don't necessarily need to read them to know what's happening. So I don't know. So it says, Joy. I'm living my dream. Owning a cozy little bakery in downtown Snowflake Falls is everything I've ever wanted. Even though the holidays are a hectic time of year, there's nothing better than the feel of Christmas mixed with a bit of sugar. When an unexpected visitor drops by to say hello, my entire world shifts on its axis. Burke Whitman was my best friend until right before our first year of high school, he unexpectedly moved away. Now he's back in town and he's been around, and being around him isn't exactly a hardship. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So it'll be told from a dual standpoint, my guess. I don't know. It's food related. Y'all know I love a good food related book. So I'm willing to give this one a try. So this one, I'm getting conflicting publication things. I'm not sure, but I do plan on actually finally picking up a TK Kingfisher book, and it is Snake Eater. It says, in an isolated desert town, a young woman seeking a fresh start is confronted by ancient gods, malevolent supernatural forces, and eccentric neighbors. A witty horror-tinged fantasy perfect for fans of Sylvia Moreno Garcia, Chuck Tingle, and Rachel Harrison. It's listed as an urban fantasy mystery. Like I said, I've never read one, but I'm trying to broaden my reading and add a new author to the list. This one's a little different. I do read comics, and I just want to let y'all know that on December 9th, the Absolute Green Lantern Volume 1, so that's comic 1 through 6, by Al Ewing, is also going to be published, and I'm getting that one. So let me read y'all the premise. If you're not sure, the cover should already tell you which Green Lantern member it's about, but it says, without the corpse, without the core, without the ring, without the willpower, what's left is the absolute Green Lantern. Al Ewing and Janoy Lindsay have reinvented the mythology of the Green Lantern from the ground up, creating a sci-fi epic of cosmic proportions. Here is the premise for those who are curious. Something strange is happening to the town of Evergreen. What looks like an alien monolith had descended, severing the town from the outside world, leaving its citizens to be judged. But what that judgment will actually bring is anyone's guess, including Jo Mullion, the woman who seems inexplicably caught in the middle of the chaos, and Hal Jordan, who has found himself in the crosshairs of an alien force that may prove even more dangerous than the monolith itself. I like the Green Lantern. I love that we're getting we're getting Jo. I'm very excited. I actually realized I haven't gotten a short story from anybody, and I realized this one comes out December 2nd, and it is We Will Rise Again, speculative stories and essays on protest, resistance, and hope. The editor for this one is Karen Lord, Annalee Newitt, and Malka Ann Older. These, as the title says, it says, from genre luminaries, esteemed organizers, and exciting new voices in fiction, an anthology of stories, essays, and interviews that offer transformative visions of the future, fantastical alternate worlds, and inspiration for the social justice movement of tomorrow. So these are speculative stories. So I don't know why it's being listed as nonfiction, but I love a good collection of good short stories, and I have a couple of speculative fiction that are Afro specific, and so I will be adding this one to my collection when my no spin is over. Okay, so those are all the books that I wanted to talk to you guys about. What are some other books that are coming out in December that you think we should know about? If you have a new book coming out in December, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Let's just go ahead and boost each other up. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that notification button so you know when my next video comes out. And until next time, guys, bye.